Can't keep it downwind.
Yes, Your Worship.
I'm going to pass this on to you now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to pass the torch on to you.
Oh, thank you.
The torch of life.
Thank you.
Hundreds of thousands of Canadians have received this torch, and it's their way of supporting organ and tissue donations. And we're happy to have you here to receive it on behalf of the police department.
I'm pleased to do that. It's a great job that you're doing, raising the level of awareness for transplant. It's really great work. Thank you.
Warm.
Tell me, I was carrying all the way down 6 feet. It's like a little furnace.
In the, you let me take that off? Yeah, thanks very much.
Can you do it?
Your torch
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
just
little
right
bit
in my
larger
fuel
than
in that way,
I'd
looks
have to
like
jog
it.
it for a while. So now you started out from where?
Toronto.
It's a great pleasure on behalf of City Council and all the citizens of New Westminster to welcome George Marcello as he walks across Canada to raise awareness of organ and tissue donations. The long-term vision of Step by Step, the organization with which Mr. Marcello is associated, is to see organ and tissue donations come easily and readily available for any Canadian in need of a transplant to live or to improve their quality of life. Most of us know about the need for donor organs and tissue, and we know that their availability lags far behind that need. Many of us even intend to sign up as donors one of these days, but few of us take the next step of actually doing something about it. Actually, my husband came home the other day and with his forms and said, I've signed up, so maybe he's too old though, I don't know. Mr. Marcello has done and continues to do something about it. And after receiving a liver transplant in 1995, he walked from Toronto to Ottawa in support of the Canadian Liver Foundation. Then in the summer of 1999, he walked 2,000 kilometers across Ontario to educate the public and raise awareness about the desperate need to increase the rate of organ and tissue donations in Canada. In June of 2000, he took on the largest challenge yet, to walk across Canada. Not only is that taking the next step, it's taking several million steps. The patience, empathy, perseverance, and clarity of purpose of George Marcello continue to have a positive effect on many individuals, families, and community organizations. And perhaps more importantly, as he makes his way across this country, he achieves his goal of increasing awareness of the need for organ and tissue donations. Congratulations, Mr. Marcello. Your willingness to follow through on your convictions and put yourself through untold hours of physical stress and discomfort to achieve your goals serves as a role model to all of us. And I'd like to thank Todd also for coming out. He has given up kidney, I believe, to your brother?
Yes.
Your brother. So congratulations for doing that, and I'm sure you appreciate the quality of life that your brother has now. Yeah, good. Okay, and so maybe George, I'd ask you to say a few words if you'd like to.
Thank you, Mayor. Today is day 382 of a 769-day walk, and I was really happy to walk with Todd today and share some of our feelings and thoughts about all this. And I was mentioning to Todd that we've pretty well calculated that we have over 25 million steps to cover by the time we finish. And every step that we're taking is to acknowledge that heroic decision, you know, of people becoming organ donors. Like the benefits that are involved are so tremendous. It affected my life 6 years ago because I was told I only had 2 days left to live, and my only chance for survival was an organ transplant. And because an individual made that choice to become an organ donor, my life was saved and 5 others. And we have to let every Canadian know how important it is to make this decision. So the 25 million steps that I'm taking is to honor those people, because people that become organ donors are the heroes. They're the heroes. They're the ultimate heroes, because saving up to 6 people's lives and possibly benefiting and restoring the lives of maybe 25 others, which we heard that, you know, you're affecting not only 20 individuals, but their families and their friends one decision is positively affecting over 1,000 people. You know, so we every step that we're taking, we're letting people know that it is so important to think about this and to make that decision. And it's my pleasure right now to call Todd down here, because I think his personal story is going to have an effect on you also. So if you may, Todd.
Hi. I wasn't really expecting to be speaking today, but here I am. And, you know, I'd just like to say that I think it's great what George is doing, because, you know, organ transplants hasn't got a lot of media attention. And we hear about cancers and all the other things I think that, you know, we're well aware of. But you know, the simple step of signing a donor card can make a big difference to somebody's life. And, you know, we all hope to live a long and prosperous life, but, you know, inevitably, you know, accidents happen. And I guess for the remaining family members, it can make a big difference on, you know, their life. And, you know, just in the fact that they can see of a family member or a friend or a relative be a benefit to somebody else. And I think that can go a long way sometimes. And it's something that a lot of people might not think about when they're signing that card. But, you know, having a brother that went through, I guess, the trauma of not knowing if, you know, he's going to, you know, have a life, and, you know, how long he is going to live because of a kidney disease, which was, I guess, given a little history on it, it was an unfortunate event. He got sick at a very young age and had to have surgery, and as a result of the surgery, he ended up with an infection. And to this day, as far as the doctors could tell him, he was given the injection of something that saved his life from that infection, but it killed his kidneys. And he only had a 25% of each kidney functioning after that event, and they deteriorated later in his life. And he was, he was on the transplant list for 2 years before I ended up donating the kidney to him. And you know, he had a limited life potentially ahead of him without a transplant. And at that time, I think the list was around 2 to 3 years on the waiting list. And you know, now I believe it's 5 or 6 years. And so it can make a big difference to people's lives. And you know, I wasn't aware of the potential. And unfortunately, you know, with kidney disease, you do have the ability to function normally, as you can see. I don't take any medication or anything. With one kidney, the remaining kidney compensates itself for the loss of the other kidney. And you know, it you know, obviously has made a big difference in my brother's life. And to me, that's the biggest reward. I don't consider myself a hero. I think anybody in the same circumstances would do the same thing. In my brother's case, he never once mentioned to me that there's the potential of you know, a family member donating a kidney. I didn't find out until a year into the you know, his dialysis stage. And you know, when I found out, I was a little bit apprehensive at first and looked into, you know, the process and, you know, what quality of life it would leave me with. And when I found that there was no difference in life, you know, it was a natural choice, and I, you know, I'm confident that anybody in similar circumstances would do the same thing for a brother or family member. So I don't consider myself a hero at all, but I do think what George is doing is a great cause, and you know, I wish him all the best of luck in his trip across Canada, and I hope inspired a few people today to go and register their cards. And I believe they're available at London Drugs, and George is going to be at the city or Royal City Centre this weekend, set up in front of the White Spot, and he'll have donor cards there, and we'll be, you know, looking for people to sign up. Anyway, I'll hand it back to George. I hope I didn't talk too much.